Those sirens are going off. That's how we know it's time to party. Okay, where's my ball? There it is. All right, so for today, if you have a stick or a pole of some kind, that would be wonderful. We want to have something. Doesn't have to be super sturdy, but something you can hold on to. A ball, some kind of a ball, tennis ball would be great. And then a yoga block may be helpful, but it's not absolutely necessary. So those are our main items that we're going to want for today. All right, and then I'll give it another minute, but we are going to do a good amount of cars here today. We're going to do some different kinetic stretching, so we'll get some various types of push-ups, squats in, which should be quite fun. We'll play around with tension, some external rotation for the hips, internal for the shoulders. So to start off, we are going to be standing and working on the neck. So once you're ready, you can stand up. All right, we're going to do some neck cars. Cool. All right. So our focus here, of course, we want to work the neck, but I want you to give it a special focus to your pelvis. Try to keep it relatively neutral. Slight bend in your knees. There's a tendency when we start to move the neck for the back to start moving. All right, so we want to keep this solid. Keep your shoulders down. And for our neck cars, we're going to start off with flexion, and then we're going to rotate to the right. So you can tuck your chin, slowly round down, rotate right, dragging that chin over towards that right shoulder, tip the right ear towards the right shoulder, look back and up, nice big stretch. Tip the left ear to the left shoulder, rotate left as you start rounding down, dragging the chin to the center, and you can look up again, and then we'll repeat, do the same thing, but this time rotating left. So we'll tuck the chin, round down, drag that chin over to the left, rotating left, tip the left ear to the left shoulder, look back and up. Big stretch as you tip right, rotate over to the right. As you start to round back down, be mindful of what's going on at your pelvis and your spine. Okay, so at your own pace here, we're going to go one more each direction. Try to keep it pretty slow, okay? So you're rounding, rotate. If there's a particular angle that feels really good or feels like it really wants to be worked, you can hang out there a little longer or go back and forth in that spot. Okay, take your time. Cars, as many of you have heard, are a great assessment. See where your body's at, what spots might be feeling a little sore. There you go, take your time. Once you're finished, go in each direction, then we'll move on. So what we get to do next is I'm going to have you do just a little stretch with the shoulders, then we'll do some shoulder cars. So I'm going to have you reach up and then stretch and tip like so. And you can let your hips move a little bit. Doesn't have to be all spine. Take a breath. Nice. Then you can reach up, stretch and tip the other way. All right. We'll just go one more each way. Nice. Find a nice comfy stretch. Well, maybe not comfy, but effective, pain-free stretch. Awesome. So now we're going to do shoulder cars with our right shoulder while tipping to the left. So I want you to think about trying to bow that spine, and you can even get the hips tipped a little bit too. I like to think about reaching my left hand down, it's anchoring me, And then with the right shoulder, this might feel a little weird, coming across, up, reach back, internally rotate, back behind you, coming down to the side. We're still tipped, extend back, rotate, reach, squeeze across. Once you come down, then we're going to straighten up, and we're going to go the other way, so we're going to alternate. All right, so you're contracting now this right side to pull you, anchoring with that right arm, and then the left, we're coming across, reach up, find that nice big stretch, rotate, reach. That right side of your body continues contracting to hold you actively in this position. We're going back, rotate externally as we come across and down. Woo! Very nice. We're going to go one more time each side. Okay, one more. Okay, whatever you're able to do, great. If this is causing any pain, then I don't want you to be quite as tipped over. Okay, we're going to go one more nice slow shoulder car with this right shoulder. Good. As you get into that flexion, reaching up, really try to find that biggest stretch you can, reaching your arm across. Whew. All right, and then one more time with the other shoulder. Tipping, contracting that right side, anchoring with the arm, reach up, rotate. Beautiful. Then you'll reverse. Trying to pull that arm away from your body. Awesome. All right, shake it out a little bit. We get to move on to the hips next. And this one I'm very excited for. So we're going to do the first set. You can hold on to something. I would recommend that. We can go with the right hip. And we're just going to do one slow hip car, regular with the right hip, and then we'll progress from there. Okay, so you're coming up, externally rotated hip. These tissues are working to pull up, pry out, rotate, ankle goes back and up. Behind you, reverse, pry the knee and ankle up towards the shoulder, ankle comes across. Okay. Take a moment. Now's where it really gets exciting. Okay, I'm not waiting till later in class to make things exciting here. So with our right hip, I'm going to have you just straighten your leg. We're going to use straight leg cars, but first I want to acclimate you with this feel. So you're not going to lift it all the way up. Straight leg out in front. We're going to externally rotate your hip and internally rotate. Notice my pelvis is not moving. And my whole right leg is all moving together. So it's not just my ankle, my thigh. You want to make sure your thigh is turning internally, thigh is turning externally. Internal, external. Relax there for a moment. So the straight leg hip cars are going to be a significant challenge. We're going to do one on this leg. We'll take a breather, then we'll do a second one, and then we'll switch legs. So you can follow along with me. We're going to straighten your leg, externally rotate it. Okay, you're going to come across, toe comes up, reach out away, belly button stays straight ahead, internally rotate the thigh, reaching back behind you. As you're back behind, you're not going to get very far without your spine moving. We're going back and up to the side, externally rotate, continue trying to externally rotate as you come across. Whew. Shake it out a moment. That may be very tough for you. If it's painful, then you can let your knee bend a little bit. You don't have to do straight leg. If it's just really challenging, I'd encourage you to try to straighten your leg. You may not be able to bring your leg up very high, but try. So we'll go for one more. Externally rotate. Hold on to something. Come across. Try to bring that foot up. Woo! As you start prying out, this thigh is going to start internally rotating. Reaching back behind you. Try to find that glute. It's internally rotated. We're going back and up. This is the fun part. Then you're going to start externally rotating. Try to keep the leg straight. Pull across and down. Okay, take a little breather. Shake out the legs a little bit if you'd like to. There we go. Whew. And we're going to do the other hip. So, now, other hip, first rep, this is going to feel wonderful, regular hip car, okay? So, you're coming across, knee high, rotate. So, from your hip to your knee, it's the same thing. It's just extending that knee makes it way more challenging. Cross and down. Because of course it lengthens that lever, the mass is further away from your body, but it also changes the length of some of these tissues, which is very tough. So just like we did with the other leg, start just with your leg down a little bit, and we're just going to get used to this rotation with a straight leg. So external, internal, external, internal. We'll get a couple more there, feeling it out. All right, and then we'll do our 2 reps with the straight leg. So you can relax there for a moment. Okay. We're just going to alternate legs, straight leg, hip cars, whole class here today, okay? And then you can crawl back to wherever you need to be. All right, that's a joke. Not a great one, but I'm sticking with it. So let's externally rotate this leg. Okay, we're coming across. Ooh, that's fun. Up. Pry out. Internally rotate. Going back. See how I'm twisting a little bit? It's okay if you're moving, but we want to try to minimize it. All right, on the way back, you're going back, out. Try to keep the legs straight. You're going to externally rotate. Come up, across, externally rotated hip, and down. Whew. Okay, just one more straight leg hip car for today. All right. Hold it here so I don't get in the way. Ready? Externally rotate. Pull up and across. Try to get that leg high. Pry out. Once you get it, max it out, internally rotate. Leg stays straight. Reach back behind. Get ready, stay solid. Going out. Externally rotate. Coming across, keep the leg as high as you can. And down. Woo! Okay. I think we're probably all fairly warm here. There you go, Nancy, that's a good sign. Taking off layers, that's what we want. So now we're gonna come down, switch gears a little bit here. We're gonna go quadruped position. We're gonna work shoulder blades first, then we'll do some pelvis, and we'll do some spine. All right, so here, all we want to do here is first retract and protract our shoulder blades. So solid through here, nothing's changing through the spine. I like to have the hands just a little in front of the shoulders, and we're going to retract, pulling ourselves down, and then protract, pressing away. Retract, protract. And I just want you slowly working through that for about the next 30 seconds. Trying to keep your elbows nice and straight. Okay, as you start pulling into more retraction, elbows are going to want to bend, spine is going to want to move, Try to keep that all locked in, so we're isolating the movement to the shoulder blades. Okay, and really try to protract as well. So as you push away from the ground, get as far as you can. Yeah. All right, now you can relax for a moment. Check out their arms if you'd like to. Okay, we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to elevate and depress the shoulders. All right, so we're going to go back into our quadruped position. Same deal. Here, again, locked in, nothing's changing here. We're going to shrug up toward the ears, pull back toward the hips. Shrug up toward the ears, pull back toward the hips. Notice my body is not moving with the shoulders. Belly button, chest, they're fixed, they're pointed down, they're not moving. And just try to make this horizontal track as long as you can. How far can you go up? How far can you go back towards the hips? There we go. All right, now if you want a little break for your arms, you can take that because we're going to go back into this position in just a moment. So we're going to work on the pelvis. We're going to work on tucking and untucking the pelvis. So your spine's going to move some, that's cool, but I want you to focus on changing the angle, right, of your pelvis. So you look here, boom, tuck, untuck, okay? How much can you move your pelvis with nothing in your upper body changing, all right? So I'm locking in, we're going to protract the shoulders, pressing away, then pelvis tuck, untuck. As much movement as you can get there. Notice how my spine's moving, but most of my upper body is not doing anything. I'm focusing on pelvic movement. Try to get, so if some of you have heard me say it before, like if you had a tail, you're tucking it between your legs, all right, and then you're kicking it back and up, all right, like you saw a squirrel or something, and you're on high alert. Okay, that's how I respond at least. Mitch likes that. All right, so go ahead and relax for a moment. So now we've got all the components here. What we're going to do is the cat-cows, which many of you are familiar with, but our focus is going to be really pressing away through the shoulder blades and initiating movement with the pelvis. So you're going to find that pelvic tuck, then the spine's going to take over. All right, so we're here. The entire time we're pressing away, okay? And I'm gonna have you with your pelvis untucked, you're drooping through your spine, but when you droop through, we're not allowing this to happen. So we're gonna start to slowly tuck the pelvis, like you're tucking your tail between your legs, and slowly let your spine follow. You're rounding, one segment at a time, moving slowly up your back, till you get to the upper back, and then you can tuck your chin. From here, again, shoulder blades don't move. We're going to untuck the pelvis, okay? Kicking the tail back and up. Then let the spine follow. Lower back droops, mid back, upper back, and you can even look up with your chin. And we're going for another one. Tuck the pelvis. Slowly work your way up the spine, little by little. Tuck the chin, round as much as you can. And then we're going to untuck the pelvis again, kick the tail back and up. Droop through the lower back, mid back, upper back, as much as you can. All right, and then you can relax. You can ease out of that position there. Whew. All right, so then we're gonna go seated. Just comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs if you want, whatever feels good to you. And we're gonna work on our wrists. So last week we worked a lot on the wrists. We're just gonna do a few wrist cars here. So we'll start with the right. Forearm is flat. And we're going to extend, rotate toward the pinky, pull up, rotate toward the thumb, and extend. And we'll continue this direction, trying to keep an open palm. You'll notice the fingers in the palm will try to close at certain points to help out. Just slowly working. Forearm is staying flat. Okay, and wherever you are now, we can switch directions. Pulling up, rotating toward the pinky, extending. From that extension, when we go towards that thumb, that's a really challenging position. You're not going to get very far there, but try to push as much as you can. All right, last rep here, and you can relax there. It's pretty cool how much effort that can take if you're really pushing your end ranges. So often, we might think we're moving our wrist, but really it's elbow or shoulder. So it's really important to work through some of those more challenging ranges to keep all these tiny little joints healthy. Now we get to switch. So, opposite, extend, rotate toward your pinky, pull up, rotate toward your thumb. Sometimes it's interesting to find how different it is one side to the other, particularly if you're going dominant to non-dominant hand. Try to get a big range of motion. Taking your time. And wherever you are here, you can switch directions. Oh yeah, keeping that forearm flat. Tune in to see what's going on with your torso and your shoulder. Sometimes there's like a tendency to kind of curl up a little bit. One more rep here. Okay, we can relax there. So I've got great news for you. We're gonna go back to the hips, not for hip cars, but for a, oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun. We'll get there, but we're actually gonna go to the shoulders. So we're gonna work some internal shoulder rotation. If you'd like, you can use a block or a seat for this one. I think a bunch of you have done something similar to this before, where we're gonna do, I'm gonna have you pull into internal rotation. So having the knee there is helpful. Though if you have a couch or a chair, that you could also prop your arm up on that too. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull into internal rotation, then we're gonna fight our way back. So with some of you have seen the eccentrics before, where we create tension, we hold, we resist, and we pull, and once we get to the bottom of the stretch, we just relax. Today, once we get to the bottom of the stretch, we're gonna feel a lot here. We're gonna use these muscles to then push back. So we're working both directions. It's fairly intense, so the first rep, I want you to not go all out. I'll walk you through it. So go ahead and take, let's do dominant arm. So whatever your dominant arm is. Okay, you're gonna make a fist, create tension, okay, and just do a couple of these rotations. Get used to that range. And we don't want the torso changing at all. It's just this upper arm rotating. Now you're gonna come out here, straight up. You're gonna grab with the other hand and start to try to yank it down, but don't let it move. So you're just gonna slowly start building pressure. Maybe just go to 50 or 60% of your max effort. And then what's gonna happen is this top hand is gonna start winning, and you're pushing down. And I want you to keep rotating, push down as far as you can go without pain. Okay, once you get to the basement of that stretch, you're gonna use this arm to push back up. So we're gonna drive back up through the other hand, through the resistance, until we get all the way up. As I get to about here, I kind of slide and put my fingers on top for a little different leverage, and relax. Okay, so what you find, if you're able to keep tension on this arm the whole time, it really starts to burn. We're gonna do 2 more reps at higher intensities. So again, first step is gonna be building up that tension, and we're trying to keep this arm working the whole time. So it's fighting this way the entire time. The only difference is how hard this arm's working. So we're gonna grab, don't let it move yet, you're building up tension. Pulling, and now suddenly you're pulling hard enough that we're moving this shoulder. Try to pull that wrist and fist down, down, down. Rotating your shoulder. Still fight for it. Get to the basement of that stretch. Now, the other arm's winning. You're pushing back up, but you're not letting it do so easily. Slowly push back up. Try to keep tension there. Good. Keep working for it. And once you get up here, you can relax. Whew. So I don't know about you, but that is very challenging, fatiguing. You know your body best. So we're going to do 1 more. I want you to work in an intensity that is challenging but not painful, or or that feels unsafe. All right, that's why we always want to ramp up the tension slowly. Okay, so we're going to do 1 more here. 1 more here. Just the shoulder rotating. Ready, we're here, grabbing on, start pulling, and you're resisting. Okay, we're building up the tension, and now we're starting to move. Pull it down. As I get here, I like to push with my palm for extra tension. I'm fighting, 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 fighting. Once I get down to my max stretch, hold. Feel those stretch tissues. They're going to drive you back. So as we start pushing back, we're making it hard on ourselves. We're pushing back. That shoulder is rotating. Feel it rotating, rotating, rotating. All the way up. And then once you get to the top, you can relax there. Woo! Okay, that is a long time. So you think about weight training, whether you're doing different shoulder type exercises, oftentimes you're at your end range, or the whole set maybe takes 20 seconds. Here, these muscles in your shoulder are working the entire time. So it's a big challenge, and it's normal for that to be tough. Now, before we do the other shoulder, we're going to do some shoulder cars. From this position, I'm going to have you go with your right leg forward, like this. You're going to drop your shoulders down. If you feel up for it, you can either hang out with this leg here, or you can step it back like that, which is going to be a little bit more challenging, a little more in the hip. And what we're going to do is shoulder cars from this inside shoulder, whichever one we were just working. Okay? So, if this is too tough, you can drop down. All right, so we're going here. We're going to reach up, rotate, reach back. Find your back side. Then you're going to reverse. Back, rotate, reach. We're just doing 2 reps. Come across your body towards your other arm and down. Good. Take a breath if you need it, and then we're going to repeat. Coming across. Reach up towards the sky. Rotate internally as you reach back. Reverse. As you get to the end, going back and up. Rotate. Reach. Come across. And then you can come down. All right. So then we're going to do the other shoulder, and we're going to do those shoulder cars for that one. All right, so same process here. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to have the one shoulder like so. I'm going to be rotating in and out, so just kind of get used to that position, used to that rotation. All right, and think about here, I didn't mention on the other side, but if you keep this angle about 90 degrees or so, that's going to give you more of a stretch. I even pull in a little bit because there's a tendency to sort of push the arm straighter as you go down, and then you lose some of the stretch. So about 90 degrees. All right, rep 1 is gonna be a little easier. Don't max out, go maybe 50 or 60%. We're here. Top hand is gonna start pulling. Build up that tension a little bit. Then we're working our way down. We're resisting with the bottom arm, but we're easing into this. Find the deepest stretch you can. Bottom arm's still working. In the basement of this stretch, we're going to start driving back up out of it. Good. Push as you come out. And as you come back up, then you can relax. Okay. All right, maybe some asymmetries. That's normal. Might feel a little different. The deeper you are into this stretch, the harder it will probably be to create force. Okay, so you'll be able to push harder as you come up. So rep 2. Rep 2, now you're going as hard as you are comfortable with. So same start, we're gonna build up and start pulling, okay? And imagine it's an arm wrestle and your top arm is gonna win. So it's starting to push down, pushing down hard, as long as that feels okay. Good. Drive down. Drive down, find that deep stretch. Once you've maxed it out, hold, push back through the bottom arm. But your top hand is not giving up. It's not giving up, it's still working. Keep going all the way up. And then you can relax. These last few inches get exceptionally challenging. Okay, give it another moment here. And then we get to do one more, then the shoulders get a little break. Okay, so arms are gonna be nice and fatigued after this. It's gonna be great. So you're gonna grab, get some tension, create that tension, build up, fight through it. Okay, then bottom arm starting to lose the battle. You're pushing down, but I really want you working to keep that tension. Bottom arm's working the whole time. Nothing passive about this. Working all the way down. Hold. Push back up. Push back up. All the way. All the way, all the way. Almost there. Once you get straight up, then you can relax. Nice. Okay, and we were done with those. No more shoulder rotational work except for these cars, okay? So then we're gonna step forward with the shoulder you just did on the inside. Like so, and you can go from this position if this is more comfortable, or if you'd like, you can step the other leg back and hover, which makes it a little more challenging. Okay, inside arm. We're coming up, rotate, reach back behind you, find your back side, reverse, reach, rotate. Yes, we're keeping that chest down, reach across towards the other arm. You're breathing, reach back and up, rotate, keep reaching back. Find your backside there. Then you're reversing, rotate, reach up and across. And then you can relax. Take a breather. I'm gonna grab a little sip here. Okay, I think those shoulders would probably be pretty warm now. We're almost through our warm up here, so. All right, so now we're working more on the hips. Okay, we're gonna do some 90-90 fun here. So we can start off with a 90-90 position. Right leg is gonna be forward in about a 90-degree angle. Left leg out to the side, about a 90-degree bend in that knee. If this is not super comfortable, you can absolutely come down toward your side. You can also use a block to prop under your front hip. and that makes it a little more manageable. Okay, so whatever feels good to you. I'm gonna go through our series here. So we're gonna do a kinetic stretch like we did with the shoulder, but with the hip. What this is gonna look like is grabbing, we're fighting, instead of fighting our arm, we're fighting our leg. So our leg is gonna try to do that. Our arm is going to reverse and pull up. So I'm gonna pull, fight through with my leg. It's gonna fire up all these tissues. We're gonna pull in. As you get to the depth of your stretch, you can rotate if you're able. Then we're gonna drive back out of it. 3 reps. We're gonna take some time in between, all right? If holding your foot and pulling on your ankle is not comfortable, you can pull your shin or go under like that and pull. The big thing is we just want to be able to fight and create tension through our hip. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of those. Then we're going to do some elbow cars, and then we're going to do the other side. So you can grab on. All right, rep 1 is not going to be maxed out. We're going to get a feel for it. Whatever feels comfortable for you. You're not going to move yet. You're going to start pulling. Okay, so with my left arm, I'm going to start pulling. And because I'm resisting with my hip, I'm going to start feeling that right hip work. Build up, not to your max effort. Then you're going to start pulling into the stretch. Left arm is winning. Pulling into this stretch. As you start to get deeper, you may be able to turn your chest and shoulders. You can even think about trying to actively push your right butt cheek backward. Use those muscles of your right hip to now push you back up and away while you're resisting through your left arm and up. All right, and then you can relax. So we'll take some time. If in between reps, yeah, you want to shake it out, that's totally cool. We're going to take like 30 seconds or more in between. This is like the shoulders. This is pretty intense, but we're using bigger muscles. So the better you get at creating that tension, the harder it will be. So for the next rep, I want you going as hard as you are comfortable with. You can use this other hand for help, but depending on your mobility, you may find that you're able to just hold on like this. All right, so round 2, grab on wherever you are comfortable with. Okay, you're not moving yet. Drive down. You're trying to pull. Hip is working hard, and now we're starting to pull in. Pull in, pull in, pull in. As you come down, you can try to push your butt cheek back. You can start rotating. Find the deepest stretch you can. Now drive back out using that right leg. Push back up through your hip. Use your hip to push you up. Use your hip to push you up as high as you can go, and then relax. Again, you can ease out of it each rep. Okay, to get more stress on the hip, think about trying to keep that right leg at a 90-degree bend. Here we go. Okay, cool. We get to go for one more. One more in this one. If you're feeling good, you can really go for it in terms of intensity. Okay, sometimes you may be surprised at how much more tension you can create if you really, really put your mind to it. So, last one. You're working at your level of comfort or mild discomfort. So, start pulling, create that tension. I want you to feel it in that hip before we even start moving. Now we're pulling in. Pulling in, pulling in. I'll show you this angle. I'm trying to pull my chest in. I'm going to rotate towards my ankle. Towards my ankle. Use that hip to drive you back up out of it. Push, fighting through that arm, fighting through gravity, up as high as you can go. And then you can relax. Woo! Delightful. All right, take a little breather. Whatever position you'd like to be in for elbow cars, go for it. So I'm not going to make these too challenging here. We're going to do just arms straight, You're gonna pull up, rotate, press down. Okay, if you need a little more space, you can come up a little higher so you can straighten your arms. There you go. Good. You can of course do these at like other angles. It's just we're more prone to compensating or moving the shoulders. So that's why I tend to default to right at the sides. As you come down here, then we're going to come back up with the palms facing the shoulders. Rotate, press down. Or maybe I switched already. Anyway, go the other way. I think I had us, yeah, I think I had us not going this way, but switch the rotation up so that you're facing a different way as you pull the arms up. And last rep. All right. Whew. Okay, reinforcements have come from Neil. That's helpful. A little energy. So we get to do the other hip now. Pretty cool, right? We're gonna go back to the 90-90 with the left leg forward this time. Alrighty. All right, so find a position that works for you. You can be leaning a little bit if you'd like to. You can use a block under you if that's helpful. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to pull with our right arm as we drive through the ground with our left leg. And rep 1, not maxing out, we're just getting a feel for this. Okay, so you can pull ankle, shin, whatever feels good. So you're going to start to pull as you stay tall, build up that tension a little bit, and then we're going to pull ourselves inward. Pull in, pull in, pull in, deep into that stretch. Rotate, if you can, towards that ankle. And then use those muscles that are being stretched to push you back up out of it. Left hip driving through the ground to push you back up tall. Whew. All right, again, do whatever you want to do in between to get you ready for the next rep. Oh yeah, notice any differences side to side. Sometimes will feel a little different. I know I have more range in this side than I tend to on the other. All right, and I've used that cue pushing your butt back. That can sometimes help you find a little stretch. So if I think about almost with my pelvis pushing back like that, as you start to go down, if you consciously do that, even if it's only a tiny bit of movement, it can really amplify the stretch. All right, here we go. Round 2, you're going to grab the ankle. You're going to start to pull, create tension. Okay, now the arm is winning. You're pulling in, pulling in. You can try and get that left butt cheek pushing back. Find that deep stretch. Keep working with the hip as you rotate. And we're going to start to drive back up. Drive through the left hip. Push you back up, fighting against your arm. Coming up tall. And relax. Ease out of it if you'd like to. Do whatever feels good there before we do the last rep. All right. Okay. Give it another couple breaths. Get ready. These are really fun with a partner. What you can do is you can get behind them, so I could have someone pushing on my back as I come up. Really, really a big game changer. So I'm sure most people would be willing to do that. Just push me for a little bit. Okay, last rep. You're gonna grab on. If you're feeling good, let's go for it here. So you're pulling, really push down with that hip. Okay, and then we're pulling in. Actively pulling in, pushing that butt cheek back as we try to rotate towards the ankle as you come down. Find that deep stretch, all that stretch stuff in your left leg. We're pushing using to push you out of it. Drive yourself back up. You're still working. Pull hard through that right arm. Fight for it as you come up, and then you can relax. Woo! Okay. Fantastic work. Very nice. Yeah, you can take a little breather, grab a little sip if you'd like. And we're gonna, if you have a bar or a pole or something, we're gonna use that next. Okay. So for this one, we can go up to standing. All right. Just so, I'm gonna go kneeling just so everything's in the picture here. But you can go standing here. Yeah, we're gonna do some shoulder flexion work, which will be pretty fun. I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna have your arms gripping whatever you have, about shoulder or a little wider than shoulder width apart. Nancy, that works. It's fine if it's wider with the, and Mitch with the foam rollers. Or Mitch, is that a PVC pipe? That's what it looks like. Yeah. Nice. It's a big one. So yeah, you can absolutely do it like this. If you have a pole though that you can grip, then we'll go a little wider than shoulder width, tight overhand grip. And I'm gonna have you start by pushing into your thighs to create a little tension. Okay? Feel that tension. We're gonna try to keep it as we reach all the way up overhead, slowly. Okay, here, not moving through here. We're gonna start reaching slowly up overhead. Okay, spine's not moving. Back is working. Back of the shoulders are working. Reach as high as you possibly can. All right, now imagine there's a cord on your pole attached to the ceiling and you're trying to pull down. Okay, so we're pulling, 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 all the way down. As you get to the bottom, just press into your thighs and then relax. Relax for a moment. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. This time your focus is gonna be, if you can, depending on your implement, try to pull your hands apart the whole time to create extra tension. Okay, in each way, imagine someone is fighting, pushing down into the bar. Okay, if you're holding something you can't pull away, you might be able to try to squeeze inward, if that's easier. But if you're able to, imagine trying to stretch your pole. So we're driving in, we're trying to stretch your pole. Shoulders are working. Slowly come up. We're stretching, stretching, stretching. Slowly work for it, reach. Punch the elbows straight. As high as you can go, and now we're pulling down. Stretching the arms away from each other. Stretching away, stretching away. Pulling down, drive into your thighs, and relax. Whew. Okay. Now you can set that down. Okay, and we're gonna do some standing. Well, actually, you can use it for balance if you'd like to, because we're gonna do some standing knee hinges. So these, we're gonna have your knee up. Extend like so. So I'm going to have you go for 5 reps. Try to keep your knee as high as possible. Extend, hold for about 3 seconds. Okay, so I'll walk you through the first one. You can go at your own pace here though. So you just want to be solid. Close this angle. Extend. Bring it back. Okay, each rep you might be able to pull a little higher. Try to keep the knee as high as possible. Hold, back. Each rep, can you pull the knee higher? Opposite leg is working hard to stabilize. There we go. Again, you're going for 5. 5 reps. It's not going to be easy. Try your best to keep that knee high. Once you get 5, go ahead and shake it out for a little bit. Woo. Oh yeah. That's another example of one. If you're really, really fighting to maintain that millimeter, not lose a millimeter, these can be very challenging. So on your other leg, same deal. Pull as high as you can without leaning back. Extend. Bring it back. Beautiful. Pulling up. Extend. Bring it back. Excellent. Going for 5. Try to hold that position. Whew. Each rep, even if it doesn't move, you're intending to try to bring that knee up a little bit. Once you get 5, you can relax. All right. Fantastic. Take a little breather. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we get all the fun stuff in. So we're just doing one set of that. We're going to go into push-ups, kinetic stretching style. So our goal, now instead of just using like 1 or 2 joints to pull into a specific range, we're going to actively pull into the push-up, drive away from it. So you're imagining as you're coming down, you're super heavy. Okay, you're trying to control. On the way up, I've added extra weight. Someone's on your back. So it'll look like this. Well, potentially. You're protracted. You're going to retract your shoulders, pull down, drive away. Except that's about like, that was like 2 times speed. Okay? If you would like to, you can absolutely go from your knees, or you could use an elevated surface like a counter. Whatever works for you, okay? And you're only going to the depth that you can get without pain or discomfort. So you know, for 3 reps, I will walk you through the first one. You can take breaks for the second and the third if you would like. All right, so rep 1, you're doing the version that works for you. Shoulders are protracted, pressed away. We're going to retract. Pull your shoulders back. Start lowering yourself. Pull yourself into the deepest push-up you can. Once you get there, hold for a moment. Slowly push yourself back. Everything's working together. All the way up. Protract. You can relax if you'd like to. We're going to do 2 more. Okay? So I usually find with these, you get more out of them if you kind of split up the reps, especially if you're working that hard for it. And if you feel at the end of the rep like that's easy, you can string a few together. You can also hang out at the bottom longer. So once you're ready, again, we're going 3 reps total. Your goal is to really control it. It's probably about 8 to 10 seconds each way. You're pulling down, actively pulling. I like to even grip the floor, control that bottom end point, and everything is pushing up together on the way up. It's very exciting. So you could do like 5 push-ups a day and just get really ripped, you know? Just 5 like this a day. Whew. All right. Once you are ready, then you can do number 3. Okay, it's the same idea. As controlled as you can be. Pulling yourself down. Imagine you're just deepening the stretch. Use those stretch tissues, pecs, arms, to push you back up slow. Control it. No sense of urgency. You're just working your way back up. Whew. Okay. Excellent job there. So the last thing we're going to do is split squats. I'll show you. You don't have to jump into them immediately. So catch your breath there. For these, if you need to, you can hold on to something. Okay? I'm going to show you. We're going to keep a Our hips mostly level, we're going to try to, and we're going to actively pull down as low as you can comfortably go, drive back up. One of the things I like to do to help create tension is I'll push into my thigh as if I'm trying to push myself up as I'm going down. So if I push into my thigh, then I'm actually fighting. I'm using my legs to try to pull myself down, working against my arms. Then I can do something like this for at least the first part of the range to make it harder for me to come back up. Okay, so my intent is for us to do 2 reps each side. Okay, I'll walk you through the first one. So whichever leg you'd like to have forward is great, and you're only going to the depth that you can control. If it's bugging your knees, then you can start to tip like so to load up your hip a little bit more. All right, so we're going to just really slowly pull down. Try to get those hammies working. As you start to lower, you can even push down into your thigh. Yep. Pull as low as you can go, and then you're going to slowly start coming back up. You can pull a little bit if you like. Imagine on the way up, you got twice as heavy. Once you get all the way up, once you're ready, you can go back into another rep. Okay? So you're pulling down, controlling down. Try to actively pull yourself into the position. Slowly drive back up. Whew. If you have like elastic bands, you could use something like that to make it tougher. Once you get 2, you can shake it out a little bit. Okay, and if these don't feel super stable, don't feel great, you still get a benefit even if you just go a small range of motion. Okay, so we got 1 more side, 2 reps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you could use a band to make it more fun. Okay, so just for your information, you know, no biggie. All right, we're going to go with the other leg forward. Oh, there you go. There you go, David. So yeah, you can use a band. You can pull, or you could do something like this. I got the band doubled over under my foot, and we're going to pull down. So you could kind of resist the band. Right? Once you're at the bottom, you're driving back up slow. Excellent, excellent. Imagine, if you don't have a band, imagine you have one. What's really cool about these is they get harder as you go up more. Once you're ready, you can do rep 2. You can push into your thigh. I'm going to raise my arms as I come down. Keep that tension on your body. Slowly drive back up once you're ready. Whew. Relax there. All right. Love it. Okay, so I won't make you do anything else. I definitely encourage a little bit of nice breathing. I think we'll focus more on that next week because I haven't hit that too much. So breathing in and out through your nose is a great way to kind of bring yourself back down. Lengthening your exhale. The kinetic stretching like that I really like. You can work, of course, as we did for specific joints, rotation, whatever it might be, flexion. And it's really nice to do with things like push-ups, squats, lunges, because you're creating a lot of tension, so you're developing strength through those ranges of motion, and you're much less likely to actually go into a range that you can't control. Because if you're going slow, creating tension, you're not going to just slip into a position that your body has no idea what to do with. So, well, great work. If anyone has any questions or anything, please feel free to shout them out.